with Garden Guy, talking about how to avoid this. You don't want in a mulch ring. This is the volcano mulch ring. Open that bag of mulch and show us how to avoid the mulch volcano. Technique, baby, technique. And if I'm an average homeowner, average girl, whatever, how do I know that I've got the mulch? What do you recommend?
Well, you want to put at least a minimum of 2 inches down in your bed.
2 inches. Thank you for showing us how to do this. I think it's easier than most people think. I think it should look simple and clean, right?
Absolutely.
And avoid the volcano mulch with Garden Guy. Okay, thank you. And welcome in. It is Tuesday, April the 25th, I believe, and all you need today is a light jacket. If you get that joke, then you know which movie it's from. Anyway, that's a joke that we have in our family from a movie that we like.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back. We were off for a week, and I think it was good. A little more content. We had a little break. We went to our place in Missouri and had a good time. And here's my handsome garden guy.
Busy day out in the field today.
Busy, staying busy. I see a couple of you are here, so appreciate that. Welcome in. And we have a lot of questions that I got from Facebook that Todd's going to answer. And then, of course, if you're joining us here for the first time, welcome in. I'll check in a minute the comments, but you can go ahead and type in your question, and then we'll get to it in a few minutes. But we like to just chit-chat at the beginning and give people a chance to join. So welcome in on this Tuesday. I think it's supposed to rain, huh?
There's always a percentage here in Houston, you know, living so close to the Galveston way as it is.
I guess. I wonder if Mike Fodge is on. Let's see. Got our azomite. Oh, it's Joni.
Hey, Joni.
Hey, Joni. How you doing?
Long time no see.
Good to see you. So go back over here. I bet Mike will be on. So Mike was great to give us a big old bag of azomite.
44-pounder with handles.
44 pounds of azomite. I went out and picked it up from the wonderful Sienna Mulch, a wonderful place for homeowners and for contractors to kind of a one-stop shop for both.
Absolutely, yeah.
And a wonderful lady that owns it, very kind, Ashley. Anyway, I drove out there and picked that very heavy bag up and put it in the back of my car. And Todd, we did a video. It's been a couple weeks now because we had a week off, but he did a video where he fertilized some of the stuff in the backyard with it. So we thank you for that, Mike. And if y'all are interested in azomite, that website, I think, is just azomite.com. So check it out. It's a trace mineral, and you can apply it to anything, vegetables, lawn, everything. So thank you, Mike. We appreciate you supporting us, and we appreciate the free bag.
Absolutely.
I mean, who doesn't like free stuff? When they say, if it's free, it's for me.
I think I should have touched up my eyes a little bit before we went on broadcast.
Well, you're a man, so I'm thinking no.
Yeah, me too. I'm just
I like my men to be manly. Let's see. That's how I like men. I like men. Oh, there's Mike.
Hey, Mike. Welcome.
Hey, buddy. Thanks. Oh yeah, Sienna Mulch. Yes, great, folks. Great
Hey,
place.
Lamb.
So if you're watching and you live in the Sugar Land, Missouri City area, Sienna Mulch is a great place to go and get fertilizers and gardening supplies if you're a homeowner. And they have soils and mulches and anyway, lots of stuff. And here's Lan. Hey, Lan fam. I'm glad you joined us. You always have the best questions, so I'm glad you're here. All right, I'm going to go over and do some of our chitter chatter, and then we'll come back to y'all with your questions. So here I go. Oops, wrong button. Wrong button. Okay, I wanted to start with this gentleman. If you're on our Facebook page, then you saw him. Okay, you love this? And I said on the Facebook page, I said, what has this young man done? Y'all can type in the comments what you think. So this is a Westie, I guess a West Highland Terrier. And I just found this on a gardening group. It's not our dog. I thought this was a crack up. So I'm pretty sure I know what this guy has done. Do y'all know what he's done? You can type in the comments. Let me see if somebody can answer it. The Green Hornet. Yes, so it looks like this young man went out in the yard right after it got mowed and he rolled around. And I like the way that he got his face too. Look.
Yeah.
I mean, it's perfectly around his eyes.
He was having himself a good old time.
He was having a good. Anyway, I thought that was a fun icebreaker for tonight, and he's really cute. No, actually, Lan, he got out in the grass right after it was mowed, and he smeared himself in it. Yep. The freshly rolled in the freshly mowed grass. So what a cutie. I guess that's kind of hard to get off of a white dog. I don't know, but I thought that was a really sweet pick, and I enjoyed that a great deal. He's really green. Jane Spellman commented on Facebook. She said, I think he's ready for St. Patrick's Day. I was like, well, he's definitely
late, but yeah.
A little late, but he's definitely ready. He's definitely a ready little guy. He was mulching in the mowed grass, right? So cute. Such a cute little guy. All right, so, whoops. I don't always get this right. Hang on, guys. Let me go back over here. Just a moment. Sorry about that. All right. So I'm going to go with some questions from Facebook first and welcome in. Oh, this is Todd Harbor, Aggie horticulturist and owner of Garden Guy for 30 years-ish, a long time, right? Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper. My first question from Facebook was from our dear, not just client, but friend, Jane Spellman. She's not like a personal friend, but she's been our client for so long. She's like a friend to our family. So love this lady. She said, this is how she is. This is exactly what she wrote. Thank you, Todd. She's a thankful person. The roses in our backyard look like an English garden. Do we trim them? She goes, I like them growing crazy. I think she likes like a
kind of wild look.
Kind of a wild look. So that's Jane Spellman, a great lady. When we went to Boston one time, she was here in Houston.
Yeah, she was our tour guide.
She was our tour guide over the phone, and she's our client. So anyway, that's how great Jane Spellman is. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, so in a situation like that, it's the personal homeowner's preference. I think you should get out and deadhead if you like to garden a little bit, which means cut the dead blossoms off. But if you like that wild look and not so tame, just let them be and let them do their thing. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, trim them, I guess, if you want, but if not, let them be. I know that you always take the canes that are too wild and you kind of train them into something.
Yeah, I mean, if they can't support themselves, maybe they, like Sabrina just said, wind it through the another part of the rose bush or just trim it off to the suitable bud union where it's going to be able to sustain itself when it grows back out.
Good. There's your answer, Jane. Now we have another Jane. Second question is from Jane Gray. I think Jane Gray has a couple of questions tonight. Her first one is, this is a question we get a lot, so perk up your ears, folks.
I'm perking.
Oh, you're perking up. Let me perk up too. All right, you ready?
Yes.
Garden Guy?
Yes.
Tell me what a good ground cover is for deep shade.
Liriope.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes, Liriope. Tell me why.
The reason why Liriope works so well is because it not only works in sun, partial shade, and or deep shade. It's just one of those plants you can just pretty much throw anything at it and it'll survive. It has a shallow root a shallower root system where it does not need a whole lot of water. Mm-hmm. And it just takes whatever abuse or lack of care you can throw at it once it's established. And, it really provides a nice, deep green ground cover for that area that you haven't been able to get anything else to grow. Now, if you have a smaller space, I also like to use a juga, but it's temperamental and it's hard to get a full stand, which means you have parts of it that seem to die out, and it's once it starts really looking like a good carpet, it's like, oh man, a little section died out, so you find yourself digging some up, replacing it. But with Liriope, it's a one and done. My experience anyway.
Liriope is the winner. All right, there's that answer. A common question, but always worth repeating. I like it.
Now, some would ask, well, why don't you choose Asian jasmine? Well, we won't go into all the reasons tonight, but for those that work out in the garden, it's outside. When it gets tight and all the runners bind together, and it creates this tight knit, it's a nice look, but there's so many things that live in that would not live in Liriope, which you're basically harboring mice, roaches, crickets.
It's terrible.
Snakes. And most people don't want those around their house
anymore. It's
anymore.
gotta be a no for me.
So Liriope is your choice.
Liriope is the winner, guys. So
plus, it's inexpensive.
Garden Guy recommends Liriope. Now, let's go on to number 3. That would be from Hilly Grieshaber. I think she couldn't join us, but she wanted to ask the question. She wants to know, I would like to know if there are any natural methods to keep aphids off my hibiscus other than brushing them off or using the garden hose to get them off.
I've found in my experience that using safer soap works really well.
Safer soap.
So it's natural, it's organic, and it will not harm.
Okay, so Hilly, there you go. Safer soap. SAFER. Safer soap. Next question.
Available at a retailer?
Available at a retailer near you. Number 4. From Facebook, Patsy Peloquin, I believe. She wants your best perennial suggestions, please. So, Garden Guy, what are your favorite perennials?
Salvia greggii, Coreopsis, and Rudbeckia in a nutshell.
Nice.
But then there's Buddleia, and then there's daylilies,
right.
And then there's...
But top 3, I guess I can ask you that because that's a big question. So I'm going to ask it again. What are your top 3 perennials today?
It would be the varieties, or different varieties of salvias, Rudbeckia, and lantanas.
Lantanas. Nice. Okay. There you go, Patsy. Easy.
Plus, each one of those 3 have many, many varieties. So you get
different colors, different.
Yeah, so you're not just stuck with one.
It's like you know what you're doing.
You know what's really cool, Sabrina?
What's really cool, Tom?
Is when they start blooming and they don't stop.
Oh.
And then people ask me, should I trim them? It's like, why would you trim them? They're still blooming.
Oh my gosh, is that cool?
Which brings up another question. You should trim your perennials toward the end of the summer when they've pretty much used up their energy to set them up for a beautiful fall blooming season. And I know a lot of people hesitate that they don't want to cut their flowers back if they're blooming so pretty, but it's an individual choice. But the plants will thank you. And when you're not out enjoying your patio at the hottest part of August, but you do get out there in September, October, November, and you have guests and friends over, then your plants will respond to a late summer pruning.
Liriope Lan is the name of the ground cover that Todd prefers. He always recommends Liriope, Liriope.
Correct.
So that is the name. There you go. And is there an evergreen ground cover that stays neat and nice always, just like the day I planted it?
Probably dwarf mondo grass would fall into that category.
Okay, Lan, dwarf mondo. Yeah, there's your answer on that. Good questions. I love Lan's questions. She has great questions. Lan must have a great garden. She's all kinds of neat stuff going on. Oh, I have a couple more questions from Facebook too. This is a long one. Brooks Yandel. Now, y'all perk up your ears on this. This is a long question, but it's worth reading. It's a good one. My cucumbers and peppers are beginning to flower, but I haven't seen any bees yet on my morning or evening garden walks. She has morning and evening garden walks. Brooks Yandel. I had tons of bees last year. She said I have marigolds. I put in Mexican heather, salvia, coreopsis to help with my pollinator problem. She uses neem once a week in the evening, and she's been using BT the last couple of weeks to combat the leaf munchers. What flowers do you like the best for attracting pollinators that are also fairly easy to find at nurseries? Anyway, I like the way she writes. She's a good writer.
Once again, I like to plant salvia. I'm just a salvia nut just because there's hundreds of varieties.
There are so many.
And the bees, butterflies, and hummingbirds love the nectar.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just so vibrant in their colors and just the way they bloom.
So any salvia that she can find. I mean, honestly, guys, we even see, I told you they have to be watered, but sometimes if you check out front of Kroger or HEB, now it has to be watered in good condition, but they'll get sometimes a weird variety that you don't see somewhere else. So it's worth looking.
So when these stores...
So Brooks, he said salvia is a great choice. There's one answer.
So when these stores order perennials like that, whoever their buyer is, they say, we want 50 salvia or whatever. They're not really ordering a variety. So whatever the grower has on hand and is next to be shipped out, that's what they send them. So if you want a more specific variety, then I suggest that you contact Buchanan's,
right,
and or Enchanted or Enchanted Garden or Enchanted Forest, and or Cornelius. So
yeah, any of those, they'll do a great job. I have another question. This
Jane Gray again.
No, this one was from someone. I didn't get her name. It's the next one. I forgot to put this lady's name. She said, I needed to spray some BT today. Is that a dumb idea? This was like Monday when she asked me, since it will be raining this week. She was talking about, I guess, not spraying the BT because it might rain. And so I told her she might want to wait if it rains too much, pretty much, because then she'd have to reapply. But what do you have to say? I'm not a professional.
Well, it's one of those things that...
This is about BT spray.
Or any spray for that matter. They say it's going to rain and you hold off, and then as so happens often in our city, you don't get the rain. The north side got it, so you gave up a perfectly good spring day the day before. I mean, worst case scenario, you just reapply. So I would go ahead, even based on the weather forecast, unless it's torrential
hurricane warning.
Yeah,
it's gonna happen.
Tropical
storm.
Because we run into that all the time. Not to miss your window of opportunity, because you can't get that day back, and then you get busy, and it's like, oh shoot, Tuesday was the only thing because I got busy. I had business meetings, and Saturday rolls around. It's like, oh, I need to apply, and then you go do something family related. And
so what you're really saying is just do it.
Just do it.
There you go. Just do it.
Maybe that's how Mike got there.
Yeah, well, they went wacko.
Yeah.
But yeah. Anywho, I love the just do it thing. I'm a carpe diem kind of lady. Jane Gray is chiming in again. This is my last question from here. And I have some makeovers to show you, or a makeover to show you. Can you tell me how much shade a sunshine ligustrum?
Say that 5 times.
It's so hard to say
fast,
this.
People.
Sunshine ligustrum.
Sunshine
can take. How much shade can a sunshine ligustrum take?
Is that almost like how much wood could a woodchuck chuck? If a woodchuck could chuck wood, if a woodchuck could chuck.
Oh, you're really saucy tonight, aren't you?
Well, I finally woke up.
I see that. Actually, I'm not going to lie to y'all. I woke him up at 7:15 because he fell asleep on the couch. Okay. He's tired. Peace, bro. This is...
You looked it up, but yeah.
I looked it up because I don't know.
They need at least 4 hours of direct sunlight a day, and then can grow very well in a, semi-shaded area, but will grow in full sun as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So we actually planted a replant for a lady today, and she had some existing sunshine ligustrums that had gotten too big for the area that she wanted in her front yard, and to have trimmed them down would have taken a long time for them to regrow back. And so she just decided, or I decided for her, that they may be better suited on the side of her house, where we took out some old Yopon hollies, and then we replanted brand new sunshine ligustrums. And I told her that tell her yard man from the get-go that whatever height you want, that's where you need to trim them. Don't let them get too much above that, and then start trying to whittle them back down.
Are they really big? I don't know.
They don't get that. I mean, they will over time, but it just like anything else, shrubs are going to grow, and if you don't maintain the height you want from the beginning, then it's kind of retroactive to try to bring them back down to a size that you could maintain if you just trimmed them a little bit as they grew.
True. Okay, so I have something I'm going to spring on him, and it'll be fun for y'all if you want to interact. It's one of those like engagement questions that has nothing to do with gardening, but I thought it was fun. So here it goes. And then I'm going to show you this week's makeover. So hang on. What 3 items would you take to a deserted island? You can think about it for a second. Okay, guys, all of y'all that are watching, type in, I don't know. It's fun, right? What 3 items would you take with you? You can only take 3 things. I think that's a really hard question. That's not a unique question, but it's hard.
One, I would take my hairbrush because I want my hair to look really good. The number 2 item would be a fire starter.
You would not take a hairbrush. You don't even care about that.
I know, just
start over.
There. Fire starter.
He doesn't care.
Utility knife.
That's good.
And binoculars.
Oh, that's a good choice. Okay, so I'm assuming that you're with me on the island, and I knew that you would bring a knife and something to start the fire with. And what was your other thing?
Binoculars.
Oh, that's an interesting choice.
Because if we're on an island and you see something, you want to be able to really see it.
So here is what I would take. Are you ready?
Your mascara.
Hush.
What would you take, Serena?
Thank you. I expect to be respected as well.
Yes.
I would take coffee.
Coffee.
My Bible.
A Bible, okay.
And my gun.
And her gun. Hey.
I think those are great. You already have the fire.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. How are we brewing this coffee?
Those are my. I'll figure it out, right? We'll roast those beans over. Anyway, those are mine. I think it's a fun question. Let's see if y'all have anything. Lighter, machete, and food. Yeah, absolutely. Well, my gun will get me some food.
Until you run out of bullets.
Until I run out of bullets.
See, so.
Right. Well, it was a thought. Food. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm hoping that we could. He's really good at outdoors, so I'm thinking a little fish or something. And I'm a great cook, so maybe we can make some of those coconuts or I don't know. It's a fun question. Does anybody else want to chime in? What 3 items or what 1 item would you take to a deserted island? Oh my gosh, okay, so if you love this movie, then fine. If I ever have to see that stupid movie one more time, because we had it on a DVD at our farm, what is that stupid movie with the volleyball and he
Castaway.
Castaway.
Tom Hanks.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Wilson.
Yes. Okay. I know it is actually a good movie and it's clean. But I think we watched it 1,000 times.
Wilson.
I hate that movie.
He had to talk to somebody.
It's true. Did any of y'all ever see that movie, Castaway? It is actually good. I just got really
Look at Mike, solar charger knife and a tin.
There you go. Yeah, solar charger. Oh, that's a good idea.
Come on, Mike. Let's make our shelter out of banana leaves. Come on, bro.
So I'm the only one that's going to take a gun? I mean, just in case.
Well, yeah.
I guess I need bullets, though.
Yeah, so you'd have the 5 shots that came with it.
I have my license to carry. Anyway, that's awesome. I think it's a fun question, so.
It is.
Yeah, I like it. What's Lance saying? Yeah. A cook, a hunter, and a builder. Yeah. You need people with skills, right? Todd can sew. I can sew a little bit. What other skills do you need on a deserted island? Well, first of all, I would be gone very quickly. Let me be honest with you. I can't be in the sun, and I'm pretty much allergic to every bug in existence.
That's true.
So if you want to kill me fast, just find some bugs to bite me, because we have story upon story on how I've been put out by some bug biting my ear or something. Anyway, it's a fun question.
We would need to find the first available cave on the island so she could get out of the sun, and then we'd have to bug proof it. And then we'll go from there.
I got my Bible, so I'll pray. Okay, let's just hope that never happens. But it is a fun question, right? All right, let's get back to business. Let's go over to the makeover of the week, which is for a very nice man, Luis. I don't know how to say the last name. Baroliot something. He's in Sugarland. What subdivision was he in? Is he in?
Off Settlers Way.
Off Settlers Way. Very kind. And I thought this was sweet. Todd said that he did this garden for his wife. And did all this gardening and fixed it up because something's not right. She's sick.
She's ill and she
can't come downstairs anymore or something.
She sits in I think it's her bedroom, and she likes to look outside, and they live on the water. over there.
So it's nice. I thought it was so nice.
Edgewater.
Yeah.
And so we put in a beautiful perennial bed or multiple beds for her so she can watch the butterfly and hummingbirds visit her yard now.
So nice. Well, here it is. And we're back. That was the makeover that Todd did yesterday.
Yes. Sure.
And so for me, the bricks, I personally don't really care for that, but that was something that the client, and this is something I like about Todd. So if you have something in your yard and you want to reuse it or something you love, because I guess they love the bricks and everybody can decide what they like, then Todd leaves those in, you know?
So the thing about those bricks they were leftover bricks from the house, which a lot of people have, and the builders stack them behind the garage or they're in the garage when you acquire your house. And so this gentleman years and years and years ago, 30 years ago, had a lawn guy, or he did it, and a lot of people used to do it, reuse the bricks because they didn't have a use for them, and made bed borders out of them. Mm. Well, as you know, all bricks have holes in them. Well, if they're down in the ground that long and you have trees, the roots seem to find them. So even if we wanted to, we couldn't have taken these out and reused them in different fashion.
So they won't come out.
These were like embedded. They not like embedded. They were embedded into the ground. And we had one little sprinkler issue, and we had to remove a few of the bricks in front of the sprinkler head. Ended up having to break the bricks because they were fully engulfed with roots. So anyway, but that's an older look. I haven't seen anybody do that in the last 10 years recently.
Right. You usually do the moss stone border, which I really like. But again, here's the thing. It's not our house. It's yours. So I like the fact that you always respect the client and you, can I help you?
I'm just enjoying the view.
You're cute.
Yes, we do respect the client and we do listen to their needs.
And you do what they want. And wow, is this a good time to bring up that lady?
Hey. She started it.
So here is a question, and I have a plant to show y'all if you're going to hang out there. So this is really a good question, and I'll try to be careful with it, but we've owned this business for a long time.
You might be careful, but
well, I have not been careful in my
You may have uncaged the beast here, because I'm the one that did it, and I was there on site.
Right. So we had I have to say we're very blessed. We don't get a lot of flack from clients. We don't get bad reviews. I'm not saying that we're perfect. No one is. But we've got really good people that we work for. I think that's a big part of it. And Todd does really listen, and he gives free, he does more than he's supposed to do. However, we do have a contract and we do adhere to it. That's for the safety of the client and for Garden Guy.
Our contract actually was written by an attorney probably over 25 years ago because he laughed at the one we had.
Because it was a joke.
And that's what he did for a living. He was an attorney contract, and he free of charge. He goes, he did the work with us as well. He goes, but your contract stinks. He goes, I'm going to rewrite it for you. Sure. And we've made changes to it over the years, modified it here and there, but it's the real deal.
But more to that, this particular client, it took her over 2 weeks, and we were both very surprised it was supposed to be a recommendation that she left, because that's the way this platform that she left it on, and it was not. And I was shocked. It's probably 8 to 9 paragraphs long. It's really something. We've been in business a long time.
And she took a lot of time and a lot of thought to put all into this.
A lot of time, a lot of thought. And it wouldn't even matter to read it to you or for you to see it, whatever. I mean, that's the thing. Here's the thing I think in life, because it took me a couple of days to get over it, because I'm the one that's kind of responsible for our reputation and keeping it. I don't know how to explain it, but it's very important to me. Plus, I take it personal. I mean, if you own a business, I'm sorry. It's a personal thing. And then she came at him, actually, talking about his personality. I mean, it's rough, guys. This was a scathing review.
So here's the deal. I'm the owner. I'm also the salesperson, and I'm also the truck driver. So
He was there.
when you hire us, you get me. And so a lot of companies don't have that. They send out a sales rep, they sell the job, the work order gets turned into the crew, it gets sent out, and that's the last the homeowner deals with an actual person that could answer any questions on
Right.
site.
Right.
Anyway, go ahead.
No, I mean, Todd's there, and so we're not going to talk about this forever, but I did not answer her. I did not respond to her what she said, and I could have. It's very, very hard for me not to, because honestly, she's lying. Secondly, no business wants something like this put up. And thirdly, she's attacking my husband, who I love, but also a business that we love, that we birthed together. It's a rough one. And I also have a letter jack in debate. So, and that's the truth. So I wanted to take her to task, and I have many times in my brain, but I did not. And
I'm proud of you for restraining this time.
Woo!
Anyway.
It's hard for me. Yes, I know. I have a mouth. But I will say this. I wanted to ask y'all, since you're still listening, do you think that companies should respond to angry? That was really why I wanted to bring this up, not to give this lady more light or whatever, haters gonna hate, whatever. But do you think that companies should respond line for line to people who leave reviews that they know are not true? It's a tough call, guys, because usually you're talking into an empty drum. If you say anything back, it's probably going to get used against you. And it's really probably not going to make things better. I mean, you might feel better, but I wondered if y'all wanted to comment on that just in general, because, this is the world we live in now with the, yeah, we definitely care. Todd definitely cares. But see, when you have any business anywhere, you deal with a lot of different people. And like I said, we are very blessed that the people and the clients that we have, like the Jane Spellmans of the world. I mean, the lady helped us guide us through Boston. So these are great people, and you're not going to always find great people. And so here you are. Sometimes it's not worth the time. Yeah, and that's
good point,
that's a good point, Joni. And I know that, but when I read this, I came unglued. I came unglued. I was like, "Are you kidding?" Matter of fact, my greatest idea today, because I ran 4 miles, and the whole time I was just thinking about this lady, and I was thinking, I know what I'll do. I'll invite her to the live tonight, and I'll debate her. and y'all, I would. But anyway, I doubt she would come. It doesn't matter, and that's where I have a weakness, but I am maturing, and I'm just being transparent. I'm maturing in that, and I know that we don't, and the Bible says you don't answer a fool according to his folly, which I taught our children.
Mike's got a good point.
And yeah, you just let it go. Yeah, refocus. They said they're say, forgive and forget. And that is right on the money, Mike. It's just, I'm being transparent with y'all. It's very hard for me. But yes, they had their say, but when it's not the right say, and then other people start chiming in.
Oh, yeah.
That's the other part.
Good to know.
You get all these people that chime in like, oh, wow, it's good to know that about him. Well, and I'm just like, wow. It just, I don't know how to explain to y'all how bad it is, but yeah.
Well, not only did she hire us once, she hired us twice.
Right. So, and there were so many things I could have said. She hired us one time and then a second time, but all that to say, look, I just brought that up to say it's going to happen to you if you have a business. And so you can take our advice and you can privately be upset or whatever, because you're a human, you're not a robot, and you can talk with each other and hash it out. And you can make up things in your brain like I do of what you would do, but then you actually don't do anything. And we did keep it low key. And I do wish her the best. And I wish it hadn't happened that way. But I will say this, and I tried to post the videos actually of her yard onto this post, but she wouldn't allow me to.
Because they were beautiful pictures, guys.
Because her yard looked great. But look, some people live in an alternate universe, and I guess she's one of them. So that's just how it goes. But anyway, it's just a question of what y'all think about that, whether companies should defend themselves or whether they should just zip it. So I guess the conciseness is you zip it. Oh, Martha. Hi, Martha. When you deal with the public sector, you can't please everyone every time. Stay true to yourself, be humble and kind, and you win. Yeah, I love that, Martha. And thank you for joining us tonight. It is true. And we do know that, and I know that. But I was just being really transparent with y'all that that's a big struggle for me. So anyway, that's just me being honest. But I did restrain myself, and I'm very proud of myself.
I am too. It'll blow over now. And
Yeah, it's fine. I mean, we're fine, and we'll be standing tall, hopefully, many more years. But it was just a talking point and something that y'all can relate to. And I know that y'all are probably, thank you, Martha. I know that many of you, and we are, and so forget about this lady and her opinion. I am tired of seeing so much negativity online, and I think that, and it doesn't matter what I think, but
yes, it does.
I think that, you're on Instagram or Facebook. Honestly, the little old saying, if you don't have something nice to say,
Good to say, don't say it.
just don't say anything at all. I mean, I've seen people get angry over somebody. Oh, I saw a post where this lady posted a picture of her mother who was 103 years old and she gardens. And she typed this whole thing. She goes, I know, it was in this gardening group. She's like, I know that no one believes that my mother is actually 103. And I know a lot of you got mad at me about this. And then she went on to say, oh, my mother loves gardening and it keeps her young. And I looked at the picture of the mother. But all I was stuck on was, why are people mad at her? Anyway, I don't know how I got on this, but here I am. Lan says, you should respond, not tit for tat. For future prospective clients would want to know how you dealt with the situation. Yeah, Lan, and I thought of that. It was such a big one and so difficult for me to respond to that I didn't. And of course, I'm hoping what people will see overall is that this is one lady and there are over 300 positives. So, I think it's pretty easy to figure out, and I know we're going to be fine. But it's a tough call, it is. And some people say, oh, don't say anything. But at the same time, I want to protect my reputation. But what I started noticing, Lan, because I waited, was I'm just going to say it, the haters, because Taylor Swift is in town, right? Haters going to hate. And it's true. The haters were latching onto this lady and they were answering her and replying. And this was a one-sided narrative that she, spewed out with no second opinion. So anyway, the haters were on there and they were all just saying all these things. And I thought, you know what, this dog ain't gonna hunt. I'm gonna have to let it lie. But anyway, too much about that. Thanks y'all for listening. Overall, like I said, to wrap it up in a positive manner, we're blessed. We're happy. Our clients are great people. We usually have them for so many years. I mean, to be honest with you, usually our clients pass away before. I mean, a lot of times we'll get a text like from someone in the family, like, oh, someone says,
we work for a lot of octogenarians.
Yeah, they're not with us anymore.
Not in the early 80s.
No.
The late 80s, and a spouse has passed away, and they're keeping their garden alive in memory of their spouse. And, it's a blessing to be able to work for these people. But just one more comment about that lady. She was mad because she didn't get anything free at the end.
Well, and if you want to, and that I
told her no,
yeah.
and the contract was fulfilled, and she was walking around through our walkthrough, and she's like, well, "What about here? Why don't you do this?" What? It's like, I don't have any more materials, and this is what you paid for.
So if this ever got watched and she saw it, this is kind of what I would have said in a professional manner. She delineated very carefully that we fulfilled our contract. What she's mad about is something that we like to call a boundary. And she was told no. And that ends this discussion.
Yeah.
That ends discussion. Thanks y'all for listening to that. So I'm going to hop on over. That was very serious. But sometimes life is serious.
Well, you never know what you're going to get on a show.
Never know what you get on our show, guys. You never know. I'm going to go over to if I can find it, dang it. All right, you want to see the flower, the pretty plant that Garden Guy likes? Do you want to see it?
Yeah, because it's a surprise to me tonight.
Surprise! Here it is. I think. the right button. So I looked this up because I took German, not Spanish. Muy.
Muy. Not muy.
Not muy.
Muy grande.
Grande. You like my Spanish?
Oh,
Isn't it pretty good?
Sí.
Sí. Sí. That's all my Spanish. Muy grande. Now, muy grande is a Texas superstar. And I put it on the blog because, everybody reads our blog. Anyway, I put it on the blog and it says that the flowers are
Big as a saucer plate.
muy grande.
It literally is.
This big. Yeah. So anyway, you want to talk about it?
Yeah, I mean,
Those have been developed in San Antonio, so it's like better for Texas and more chill hours.
So yeah, the Muy Grande is a hybrid descendant of the tropical
Muy grande.
hibiscus, which can't survive winter of any sort, and hibiscus species native to the southern U.S., which have more tolerance for a bit of a chill. This particular hibiscus is rated to zone 5, which says it can survive to minus 20 degrees, which normal tropical hibiscus can't survive any type of freeze. And being a root-hardy perennial, this plant will lose all its leaves once cold temperatures arrive, and the above-ground stems will eventually die back as well.
I need to get to my mouse.
Oh, I'm sorry. In late winter, cut all the above-ground portions back to the ground.
Mike has a yellow one.
Cool. And new growth will emerge from the roots in the spring.
I love him too, Joni. And Mike has a yellow one. Do you like it, Mike? Yeah, great choice. Oh, Heidi ho. Oh, we answered your question.
Hey,
Hilly.
Hilly.
Yeah, well, I love hibiscus, period, but this is a neat one, and obviously the flowers must be this big.
Yeah, but the Muy is, it's Muy.
Oh, you have one? Oh, Luis.
Hey, Luis.
I haven't seen you in a while, buddy.
It's been a while.
Welcome. My grandma called them, dinner plate. Exactly,
Yeah,
that's what it says, the dinner plate hibiscus. So the prettiest, go back and look. I forget what Hilly's question was. Oh, Hilly, safer soap is what you need to write down. SAFER, safer soap. That's what you need, and you don't have to go back and look. Right after his black and blue salvia, yes. So the prettiest, now this is not the muy, not muy, muy. I know Luis appreciates my
Spanish?
new command of Spanish. Muy.
How would you say that in German? Muy?
Grossa means big. Large.
Grossa hibiscus.
Okay, so gross hibiscus, but it's not gross like you think. There's an S set at the end. It looks like a B. So that would be German.
Gross.
But that's not what we're doing here, guys. That's not what we're doing at all. But I know Luis appreciates my command of Spanish.
Muy.
Because I used to call him Luis, and it's muy, not muy. Okay, there you go. It's probably still not right.
I wonder if it's the legend of the Muy Grande, or not Muy Grande.
I don't know.
Maybe they messed that up too.
So the prettiest, this has nothing to do with the Muy Grande, but the prettiest hibiscus I have ever seen, and I love hibiscus near a pool. That's my favorite, personally. I like hibiscus near a pool.
She can't even get near a pool, but anyway.
I can't even.
I digress.
But I liked, wait. Muy, not muy. Well, no, it says, when you look at the name of this one, I would think it was muy, like big, but they call it MOY, Grande Hibiscus. MOY, Luis. That's how it's typed out for the Texas Superstar.
She went to great detail and length to research
fairly
that.
detailed.
But if you say it's muy.
But I believe you. Muy.
It's probably.
Look. Muy.
Muy.
Muy. How's that? Is that pretty good
Muy.
for gringo? Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Now, what's your favorite? You were getting to that.
Oh, my favorite hibiscus I've ever seen. Okay, you tell me my favorite hibiscuses that I've ever seen. You better get this right. It's like the newlywed game.
I don't remember.
We're on vacation.
Yeah, it's probably big and.
No. Prettiest hibiscus we've ever seen when we're on vacation. Oh, man.
I don't remember, honestly.
You had to give me your shoes because I bought some crappy ones at JCPenney and I was pregnant with Hunter.
Yeah, we were at the hotel.
Where were we?
Oh, in Key West.
Hello. Key West. In Key West is the prettiest hibiscus I've ever seen. Why are you acting like you don't know?
She's talking about the place where she saw the prettiest hibiscus. I was thinking she was thinking of what variety was the prettiest she'd ever seen.
I already said that. You're not listening.
Yes, it was Key West. The asphalt was 135 degrees. She was pregnant with one of our children, and she bought some cheap ass sandals from JD.
Oh, we don't to cuss on the show.
Yeah, you could say that. JC Penney, because they had some little rhinestones on them, but they weren't adequate to walk in, and so we were a couple miles from the hotel, and it was hot. She was pregnant, and so I gave up my flip-flops to her, and I had to walk back.
Because my feet were burning, and I was pregnant with your child.
Needless to say, the other sandals didn't get worn again.
No, they were terrible. Okay, Hilly.
But she looked good.
Hilly says, I bought my hibiscus as a housewarming plant to myself when I bought my house, and I'm proud of myself. This lasted with much care. That's great, Hilly.
That's great,
Hilly. Wonderful. Try to take care of it. Yep. Oh, and check my messages. The problem is if I do that, then I'm afraid I'm going to lose this whole live. But I'll look at it later, Luis. I'm pretty good with technology, but sometimes I mess it up. All right. So Luis sent me a great picture of his dinner plate hibiscus, or Moi Grande. Anyway, I like hibiscus. They're very pretty. What's your favorite flower? Don't say salvia.
I'm not going to say salvia again.
I mean, I guess you can.
No, it would have to be one of the varieties of the antique roses.
Oh, I know, right?
Absolutely,
so
hands
many.
down.
The Belinda's Dream? I don't know. I mean,
well,
how could you pick the best antique rose? How could you say, oh?
I think it just appeals to your senses, the color. If that color appears to you, if it's fragrant, and then just you add all those together, and then it's hardy and it does well, and you're like, wow, that's just amazing.
Right. Oh, Hilly wanted to know if it's better to pot or plant the what do you call it? The hibiscus.
Well, if you got it potted, then you can always take it into the garage. But if you don't, you know what's going to happen if it's in the ground. It's going to freeze eventually.
I was trying to check that message from Louise. All right, so yep, red salvia as well. Well, that's really all I have for tonight. But I'm glad to see Louise again, because we haven't seen you in a while. And then somebody new, Martha. I haven't seen you here before, so I appreciate you being here. Here's Martha.
Joni, yeah, I agree with you. I saw her. She was scrolling the Belinda's Dream. They're so fragrant.
Yeah, I was gonna say I do love all the roses. The Belinda's Dream is so beautiful, and it consistently blooms. And I'm telling you, I think most of the time
they are. I mean, especially early in the season,
it's really pretty. What other ones did we have? We had a bunch at the other house.
I like the Grusenalcom.
The German one. We have the one that blooms blue out here on the driveway.
Balkenblau.
I like that one, but it's only one time.
It's not fragrant.
And it's not fragrant. And
it's just a very unique color.
Yeah, anyway, I love the antique roses, all of them. Who doesn't?
We can thank Mike Shoup at the Antique Rose Emporium, who has now sold it to the new owners, but all the years that we visited up there and purchased roses from him, and have to thank him for all his rose rustling days back in the day to get into the business he was in. And without him, a lot of the antique roses that are on the market today wouldn't be out there. So thank you.
It's true. He's a great guy. Nice guy. I know you always chatted with him when you were getting your roses for clients. And so Todd does plant antique roses for his clients when it's appropriate and when they request them. And
plus it gives me an excuse to drive up to
Independence
to go shopping.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, if y'all have any questions, pop those on. I'm about to wrap this up. We've been on 51 minutes. That's pretty good for us. And
it ain't no thing when you got something to talk about.
Well, we'll make something up, right?
But we do appreciate your comments and input tonight on our little situation. It means a lot to us to get other people's opinions.
Sure, and we've been doing this a long time, and I'm not saying that we've never done anything wrong or that we haven't had negative, because we have. I mean, that's silly. It's just a talking point, and it's just part of being in business. And I just thought I'd run it by y'all and see what you think. And I know most of y'all are really good people, and you're probably tired of a lot of the negativity online too. And I do think that the ultimate answer is you just nod your head and say, okay, and you just move on. You know, if you did all that you can, then you did all that you can. So anyway, I'm glad that y'all joined us tonight, and we look forward to seeing y'all next Tuesday.
Absolutely. We'll
here on Facebook. Same time. Same. Is that what you were going to say?
No. Can we say that? Is that like patented?
Same bat time, same bat channel? Oh, I don't know I think you can't say Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But I just said it.
Oh, well.
So, okay then. All right. Oh, I already talked about azomite. You weren't on, Mike. I said, I want to thank Mike Fodge for giving us a 44-pound bag.
With the
azomite.
handles, because
With
she had to
handles,
lift them.
Because I lifted, put it in my little car. Anyway, Todd enjoyed using it in the backyard. He put it on our flowers and our tomatoes. So we're super happy about that. If y'all are looking to try azomite, it's a trace mineral that you can use in your gardens, your vegetable gardens, your flowers. You should do it. They have it at Sienna Mulch. And I don't know if they have it in Enchanted Gardens too.
I don't know where else.
But they might. They might have it there. Anyway, thank y'all for joining us. We are signing off. And y'all make it a great rest of the week. And we will see you next Tuesday. Good night.